Welcome back to part 3 of the Pangea series. Okay, so I'm pushing the videos out as fast as I can. The reason why I'm pushing them out so fast, and I apologize for the blurry video yesterday. But the reason I'm pushing these out so fast is because God is just throwing them at me this fast. And um and I think that we need to learn about our true history, and I do believe that this is our true history. I'm not just making these things up. These are Holy Spirit inspired videos. Um they also make common sense, but they're Holy Spirit inspired videos. Like, I'm not the one coming up with all this 100%. There's many different ways that I'm learning about these things. So anyway, I'm just here, like, back with this picture of Pangea. So I just kind of wanted to get everybody reacquainted with Pangea, and what I believe that the land continents looked like before um before they we broke off. And the video part 2 was talking about the Lisbon earthquake. They claim 1755, but I believe that it was the Lisbon earthquake of 755. And I believe that Jesus was about to leave after. Okay, so I'm not going to too much get into that one, because if you want to learn more about that, go ahead and watch the part two for the Pangea series. Um, but basically, I believe that Jesus in his millennial reign reigned here from 76 AD to 1076 AD. And I believe that in 775, that Pangea was separated, because I believe on his way out, he wanted to break up the continents, or the one continent, I guess, so that we would have, I guess it wasn't going to be like a one world order, that they weren't able to just create everything around this one land area. So, all right. So basically, if you start to look, you can see that North America, I believe that this was Europe. I'm sorry. I believe that this was above Africa right here. And I believe that Lisbon and this little like hook thing right here fit right here. And so I believe that when the earthquake happened in 1755, it broke off this whole area right here. Okay. Now, at the other video, we talked about how Atlantis, there's a part right there. And I'm gonna show you a better map of where it is in Mauritania, but how it goes and it lines up right with the city Atlanta, right? You see Mauritania, Atlanta. Now they're supposed to be the ruins of Atlantis left over in Mauritania in the desert, and it lines up right with that. So okay, so no, we're not going to stay on this map too much longer. Let's get out of here and go to the. It's a more it's a map that shows. I want to show you a couple maps. This is another version of what they could say like Pangea looked like, right? This is the United States. This is Canada, and then down here is South America. And they're saying Brazil. I don't know, and they're saying South America is over here. It's possible. It's possible because Brazil has a lot of African looking people. So something like this existed, definitely. Okay, because you have African looking people in Brazil, and then you have the Olmecs, which is like some black people down in the South America. And I'm not, and I mean there were black people all through the United States as well. They call them Indians in America, but they looked more like African chiefs to me. Okay. I don't have any pictures, unfortunately, but if you go to the codices, they're called codices in Mexico. The Mexican codices will show you pictures of what these quote unquote Indians looked like, but they were actually black looking. I mean, they were African looking. So I'm not going to keep this video and make it too long. So let's keep moving. All right, now I want to talk about what happened when these people broke off. Okay, who was there, right? Who was there? Who lived in these places right here in this land? So we claim that some of this was Egypt. We claim that some of this might have been a little bit of Atlantis, and we claim that there was people living in these areas, right? Because it's all connected. It's one land mass, right? So Africans traveled here, Africans traveled there. Whoever was on this land, all these people throughout here traveled all through here. You see, they were one land. That's how you have Europe, France, not Europe, I'm sorry, France, England, Spain, um, excuse me, Portugal, you know, the Gibraltar Strait. That's how you have all these people on all these different lands, right? Okay, let's keep on moving. I'm going to show the next map, and I want to explain. So the question is, this video basically is a number three, number three, part three, and what I'm attempting to answer today, and I just wait on my, I'm trying to get this map up. It's taking a minute. Hopefully it'll pop up. Uh-oh. I hope I get, okay, there it is. Yes, I'm gonna have to make it a little bit smaller, but okay, so I'm gonna move my phone a little bit this way, so you can I'm gonna move it out a little bit so I can make it a little bit more, um, like a panoramic view. Okay, so I just wanted to kind of show you. I'm gonna kind of zoom in a little bit. I wanted to show you how you have like France, you have Spain, Portugal, you have all these places, and I'm sorry it's blurring a little bit, but I wanted to show you Morocco. Um, Morocco is where they claim that Atlantis was, and then that would have been right there next to um, Atlanta. And I find that interesting that Atlantis is claimed to be right here. And I'll show you on another video about what that looks like. It's a bunch of circular indentations left in the desert, and then Atlantis, the name Atlanta, becomes right there, like right there next to each other. Anyway, these are the types of people. So my question is this: when this floated away, when North America and South America floated west after Pangea and after the 755 earthquake, who was on this continent? Who was on, because you know what, when these islands, when South America and North America float away from here, all right, who were the people who had traveled from different places? So we know, so these are the people that ended up floating away while still on the land of North America and South America. So who were the people that we have proof of in America that were there on the land before Columbus? That is what I'm trying to gain today. Who was there? Where did these people come from? What proof do we have that there were people prior in America prior to Columbus supposedly? I'm going to turn this way so you can see the whole thing. Okay. It doesn't help any. Sorry, I thought it might help, but so these are the people. You have I'm sorry, it's kind of blurry and I'm trying to get a better picture. Okay, so you have the people that are coming. So you have the Phoenicians that are coming from these areas over here, right? And they're good sailors. They're known to be good sailors, right? And you have the Phoenicians coming from like the Syria, Turkey area. You have, you have. I don't think we did much with Italy. I don't think there's too many Italians, but there's there's people from Africa looking. There's African looking people. There's there's a bunch of different kinds of like proof that there is a whole lot of different ethnicities in America, and these people who sailed this area right here, this whole area, are the ones that we find in America. Okay, so let's see who they are. These are the people that were that we have proof of that actually were in America, right? And and we have proof because of petroglyphs and stuff here. So let me read this, and I'm going to set this back down so that we can get a better view. Okay. An extraordinary discovery has left experts perplexed that a 500-pound rock slab adorned with ancient Egyptian. Okay, so where did we say what did we say America was? Egypt, right? Because it was above Africa and between Spain and Portugal. And it made one trade route, one long trade route. Okay, so why was it Egypt? Why do we call it Egypt? Because because these things are proven in America. We find Egyptian petroglyphs in America. So let's read about it. An extraordinary discovery has left experts perplexed. A 500-pound rock slab adorned with an ancient Egyptian symbol found in the U.S. desert. For 2 years, researchers have been grappling with its origin and significance. The carved symbol bears resemblance to. Let me. Can I see it? Let me see if I can make this a little bigger. That's too big. No, that won't work. Sorry. Okay, bears resemblance to the Apis bull, a sacred emblem of the ancient Egyptians. I think it's like the lapis bull. I think maybe the L is missing on that. But how did it end up in this remote location? Further investigation reveals an unexpected twist. Evidence of Celtic explorers and Ogham transcriptions. So we have Celtics and we have Ogham. And I think Ogham is, if I'm correct, Ogham is considered sort of like Norse. And I could be wrong. I'm not even sure what Ogham is. I can look it up more and find out. But they're intertwined with the Egyptian symbolism. And so what we're finding is that there's a convergence of these distinct cultures, which deepens the mystery, hinting at the presence of pre-Columbian Celtic tribes in America. All right, so I mean, literally, this is coming out as a truth, you know. Let's look at some of these petroglyphs. Well, first I want to kind of show you what they say. These are the people who, let me make this bigger. These are the people who they say were here before Christopher Columbus in this date line. So they say Christopher Columbus came in 1492. I don't even know what year Christopher Columbus really came. But he was a slaver. He was a slaver. Christopher Columbus was not an explorer. He was a slaver. He was coming to America to buy, not even to buy, to steal people and to sell them. That's who he was. And he was a Sephardic Jew. So he was an undercover Jew coming to buy and sell people, not even to buy them, to steal them and to sell them. So I have no respect for Christopher Columbus. Sorry. Polynesians were here in, so they say, 1200 AD. Still, fits in that time frame of 775 where we believe Pangea split. Norse people, so that's like the Vikings, right? We see them in 1021. And then we see Indians, Inuit, which is actually the Inuit will actually be closer to Chinese people, or like people coming over from Asia, right? So those are the Inuits. Those are some of the first Asian people that came over, probably through the land bridge from Russia to through Alaska. Okay. All right. So and then we have Eskimo and some other First Americans. But this is who they claim is in America. So they claim that there's Polynesians, they claim that there's Norse, Vikings, they claim that there's Indian, Inuit, which is actually, like I said, from Asia. But why are they not claiming there's Egyptian when we know we just saw that there's Egyptian petroglyphs? They just won't claim that America was Egypt. They won't do it. But we're going to prove them wrong. This is the bowl. This is the Egyptian, one of the major Egyptian petroglyphs. And this is what they are saying is not Egyptian. Or the, like they're saying that this is just, they're not sure who carved this. But then, like, when you look at the people who are, um like are the people who analyze petroglyphs and stuff, they're saying this absolutely is Egyptian. So, and I mean, look at the face. It's Egyptian. You can tell it is. But okay, so, and that one went with that first story. And then we have, let's see. We have this called the Wabanisi man, I believe, or something, the Wabanisi stone. And this, they believe, is a Phoenician altar that was found up in the Chicago, Minneapolis area. Oh, Chicago area. And this they're saying that this could well be from the Phoenicians from way before, like 1000 AD. So where did the Phoenicians come from if they didn't float over here on this land? I know they were good sailors. I'm not denying that maybe they could have sailed, but they always say that everybody sailed. But what happens if it was just that they got moved on land? You see, I personally believe that they just got moved on land. So this right here, if you look at this stone, this looks like almost like African, but they call it Phoenician, and the reason why is because they call it a death mask. It's satanic, to be honest. I mean, I'm not going to sit and tell you it's not it was an altar where they sacrificed children. I'm not saying it's a great thing, okay, but I'm just showing it to you because I want you to see that there are different cultures in America. And this is one more I have to go get from my inbox, and I wanted to to show this one to you as well. And this is interesting as well. This is okay. So this is from the Olmecs. All right, and the Olmecs come from. Let's see. We can read about it. Let me try to. I can't make it bigger. I can't twist it. All right, let me see if I can read it. If I can get a good view of it. Anyway, Dr. Wiersch in 1972 supports this claim with skeletal evidence from Olmec sites that were found, skeletons that were analogous, right, which means that they look like the West African type black skeletons, or I mean carvings. And they say that the Olmecs were in South America. Now we were saying, let's go back to this map now. So I'm showing you the Olmecs, and I want to now let's go back to the let's go back to this map right here. Now let's look again. We're saying that these countries, oh my gosh, it just popped off. I'm sorry. I don't know why it did that. Okay. So we're saying that Africa, right? Probably Africans move back and forth between this landmass and South America. And so the Olmecs come from somewhere down here in like Peru or something like that. And that makes complete sense that Africans would have transversed between this land and that land. And when it was broken off, right, on this earthquake with the 750, they call it the 1755 Lisbon earthquake. I call it the 755. I believe that it happened in 755 AD. They want to deny the 1,000-year reign of Christ, and so they want to push up the year by adding 1,000 years and saying that Christ didn't exist. You understand? So what I think is that this happened in 755, and this is what broke off was South America and North America, and that is how we have Pangea. And these are the people that I just talked about: the Phoenicians, the Olmecs. So the Phoenicians were from kind of like Greece and that type of area, kind of like, they're not Greek, but they were good sailors. I'm not exactly honestly sure where Phoenicians are from 100%. But they were good sailors, I know that. Okay. But the Phoenicians were on these lands, right? So we all know that there was Phoenicians living on these lands. We know that there was Africans living on these lands, right? Because I just showed proof. We know that there was Norse people who could have come up from this part of, or once it floated away, when it floated west, then they would have came across and sailed across to Canada and all that, which is possible as well. We know that there was Celtic people who lived on these lands. I mean, and we know that there were Egyptian people that lived on these lands. So to me, there's no way that all those people came over to these lands 3,000 miles west that way. You know what I mean? It makes more sense that they were already on these lands. And when that earthquake happened and broke all this off, they floated on the land. Yes, some died. Some people in Portugal died. Some people on this, somewhere over here died. Yes. But not everybody was affected by that earthquake. And there were still people who were living on this land as it was floating west. That is my theory with Pangea, and that is my theory as to why there are so many different kinds of petroglyphs and different kinds, different ethnicities that we have proof of that lived on the Americas pre-Columbus. Thank you for listening to my part 3 in my Pangea series. I hope that my videos are interesting to you. I hope that you're learning something. I hope that you understand, and see what I'm trying to convey. I just thank you and I praise God that He's showing me and teaching me, and let's just see what else God has to say next. God bless.